I could have walked away many times before.
We speak on these things, but we're speaking on them and it's like white noise to men sometimes.
It's almost like you're dead to me type of done, you know? Because men don't speak.
Men don't speak.
Sorry, Julia. Hey, y'all, welcome to Woman Wednesday, where a grown-ass woman has grown-ass conversations. I'm Pat.
I'm Lisa. Welcome to the chat.
This is a new podcast for Lisa and myself. This is something that we've been wanting to do and planning to do for a very long time. And here we are, two grown-ass women, got out of our little young girl stage, and we figured, you know what, we want to come on camera and just share stuff.
No, we didn't want to come on camera.
Well, we didn't want to come on camera. Yeah. She didn't want to come on camera, but I'm not camera shy. Anyhow, so we wanted to share experiences that we probably personally had, and also, what women like ourselves has been through, and just overall what women's been through on a whole.
Well, what before you go any further, what's the point of what it is that why are we doing this? Why did we decide to do this?
I think we just wanted to share. And we have to say this. We're not counselors. I'm not a counselor.
Far from.
I am not a counselor. We're just talking and just having general. See, this is what Lisa and I do when we're on the phone.
Yeah.
And sometimes we are on the phone for hours and we're just shooting the shit, right? And just talking. And I think a lot of women can relate to that because that's what we do.
When you have your girlfriend.
My ex-husband used to say, oh, you guys women just sit and chat on the phone. But yeah, you know what? We do. And when you have someone that's really a good friend of yours and you guys are close, you feel comfortable talking about everything, right? But you have to have that special friend to do that. So Lisa and I've been coming from a far place. We've experienced a lot in our journey together as friends. And, it's kind of funny because we're also two friends that don't like to chat. At least not to ourselves, yes, but outside, no.
And I'm going to add to that, we're not friends that sit on the phone, whether it be on a daily basis. Like we could go long periods of time not speaking.
Yeah.
And then the one day we decide to catch up, that's the span of the conversation. So we could go for a month and don't speak.
Yeah.
Month 2 clicks in and we decide to get on the phone. That's when that long conversation happens and we catch up on everything and everyone.
That's like, I think I've gone to the grocery store. We've been on the phone.
Yeah.
I could be in the doctor's office. Finish your grocery. I'm in the bathroom. Yeah. We come back out. We're on the phone. I'm cooking. It's like a legit all day thing.
Yeah.
But not so we can, you don't have to ramble too much about that. I think the most important thing is we've always wanted to share experiences. And I think right now with just how things are going and things have been in the past, I think we're in a world now where we're all open to just have real authentic conversations and share maybe some dynamics of things that we have seen and also experienced. And this is why we quote, we're not counselors. Have I been to counselors? Hands down, I have been to counselors. So a lot of things that I personally will probably share is because of things that I've learned along my journey.
Yeah, it's just our thoughts and how we see things. So please believe you're going to have your own thoughts on it and, the way you think about things. We're sharing, and probably even amongst ourselves, we're going to be back and forth. She's going to have her own way of thinking on things. I'm going to have, but it's just a matter of two girlfriends just basically kicking back and shooting the shit, for lack of a better word, just talking about whatever it is that is going on out there or things that we deal with as women on a daily basis.
Right. So let's get into the chat.
Yeah.
We said we want to chat.
Chat.
So let's chat. So what we want to talk about is just women, single moms, right? And the strength of a woman being a single mom.
That's the name of our actual, the first episode is, we've named it Strength of a Woman.
Yeah.
And it's basically, it's a broad title, Strength of a Woman, but it's very fitting for us too. So that's where we came up with the name. And
You came up with the name.
well, yeah, I came up with the name. Okay. Thanks for the
I gotta
credit.
give you your flowers. I gotta give you your flowers for that one. It was very good. I like you.
And our first topic on the underlying strength of a woman is in regards to deciding to walk away. So when we're in this relationship and we've decided as a woman to walk away, what does it look like? Or when the man decides that he's walking away, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Start with the woman.
Yeah, I mean, okay. As women, we're natural beings that we want to nurture.
Mhm.
We're very nurturing. I think that's why God blessed us with being the ones that carry that child in our womb, because we know how to protect that being while it's there,
Mhm.
right? Not say a man is not there to protect and serve. That's going to be his role once you.
I don't know about serve, but protect.
But protect, right? Yeah. So I think for me, and I can speak for me because I've been at this place,
Mhm.
is when you are a woman deciding to walk away from your partner, it takes a lot of strength. As a matter of fact, you're brave, because you have to overcome fear
Mhm.
to get to that point, right? And because when you're thinking of the ultimate, that decision that takes, mind you, it's not something that you snap overnight and you decide from a woman's perspective to just do and walk away.
Right.
It takes a lot of stroking. It takes a lot of, confirmation. It takes a lot of being bold. It takes a lot of you just looking around you and thinking about the things that's going to change, because it's going to change, right? I can say for me personally, there's one thing that I always say to people. A person can advise you to walk away from something or someone that you ultimately cared or loved, but in the end, it's really your decision to do so. Because when you make the decision to walk away, then that umbilical cord is then cut. You have to make that decision, because when you decide, then that's really just what it is. You are just walking away and there's no looking back.
But what does that lead up look like? Because I know for myself, when I was in my relationship that I chose to walk away from, there was a huge buildup. There was a lot of going back. I knew that there was no more. I knew that the relationship had reached its end, but we did share a child, and we had responsibility to. I had my son that was not his, and then I also had the son that was his, and then we had his outside children as well that were in the home, that were a part of me. And so when I got into this relationship, I got into the relationship with the mindset that this is my person. This is who I'm going to be with. So there was never, in the beginning, there's not that thought of the end. There is that part of you that's just always looking to what the next step is to build off of, right? I mean, we got to the point where we discussed marriage and such. But over time, with the different things that were happening, the responsibilities, the, financial strains, all the different things that were happening. I think I got to that point within my head where I knew it didn't feel the same.
And I was there. But the thing about it to remember, I was a part of that journey.
Right.
And the one thing that maybe that's something we can talk about now, or it will lead into, but you never shared.
Right.
You never told me what was going on.
No.
It's when it happened is when I found out.
And one of the reasons I didn't speak on it, and especially to you, who's the closest, that you were the closest to me, was because I always felt within myself that unless you're 100 on going and never returning, you don't want to include other people in there. That's how I thought within myself.
I think that's what I was leading up to when I was speaking
because
earlier.
You don't want the noise.
Right.
And I'm already in my head on what do I want to do? Where do I go? And if I leave, and these are the things that I think sometimes hold women in place, is because we think about all the different people that it's going to affect. It's going to affect our families, like my mom, his mom, the outer parts of the family. It's going to affect the kids.
Right.
It's going to affect so many different things. Where's he? I mean, I went so far as to thinking, where's he gonna live?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's the nurturing side, right? That's the side of
where's he gonna go?
Still making that decision, but still caring at the same time.
Right.
I think even for me, one of the things for me is, and not all, but I'm assuming a lot of women can relate to this, is like, and by the way, I've been with my spouse married for 25 years and together for 28 years. So there's a lot of years of togetherness. Mm-hmm. But when you get to the point of where you are, that togetherness has been broken up in so many different ways that you've lost yourself, right? And one of the things for me is where I could have walked away many times before. Did I get to the point of deciding I'm going to? No. There's been umpteen opportunities when I could have, right? But one of the things that you think about is, okay, you put in all this time, and then now all of a sudden you walk away, and somebody else is going to come and take on mm-hmm. It's like you grew a plant from it with a seed, mm-hmm. and then you can't carry it with you when you move. Mm-hmm. So you have to leave that plant behind. So somebody else comes and takes that plant, right? So, you don't know, that plant could flourish to look even nicer than you did. And that plant could turn around, dry up, and then you turn around and dash it out the door. I think overall the build up, see, as women, we don't just walk away. We don't just make decisions to just walk out the door unless it's something really severe that happens. And even then you're still hoping, right? For us women, we have to nurture the idea. It's a seed that's planted. And when it's planted and things aren't changing, that seed just keeps to grow. Yep. It keeps growing until you get to the point where you realize you can't do this anymore. And I remember years ago, I think I said this to you, sometimes it doesn't take a severe situation to happen for a woman. It just takes as simple as a person could pick their nose or chew wrong. The reason why I'm saying that is not because that's what making them leave. It's just that all the buildup and there's that one small thing, it just shuts everything down for you.
Jaheim, when a woman's fed up.
Yes. Well, for R. Kelly.
No, not R. Kelly.
No, was it R. Kelly? R. Kelly and Sparkle. Yes. Okay. I played a song.
When a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it?
Nothing you can do about it.
Yes, R. Kelly. My bad. Jaheim is treat your woman right.
Okay.
Yes.
So men knows.
Yeah.
They know, right?
Yeah.
But it's true. When we are fed up and we're at that place, at that point, I can
hear the song.
Yes, there's the fear. Are you listening?
No, I had it great. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should play it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the fear, first and foremost, there's the thought. And then when you have the thought, in that thought, you're thinking, what if? Could I? Oh my gosh, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And then it goes from the what if now, and then you start saying, I can't, you know what? That would be interesting. If I could, I would. Okay, but if I could, I would. Where? Where would I go? What would that look like?
Yeah.
Okay, financially. Okay, let me save up this. And once I save this up, then I can make my way. My point in saying all this is that we strategically plan these things out, because worse if we have kids, we can't just jump and get up and run, because then we have to think about the care of our kids. What's going to happen to them? Are we going to uproot the kids? Whatever. So all the dots have to be connected for us to actually pick up and walk away. And that's not always the perfect scenario, because sometimes we do have to just get up and walk away. Right. But the fact of the matter is, when we do decide to walk away as a woman, we don't just pick up and walk away for the most part.
Right.
Our escape, if you want to call it that, is planned. As a matter of fact, Jennifer Lopez, enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She planned that very well. You see what she did? Mm-hmm. She planned it. And that man was a real serious narcissist. And he was tormenting, right? Breaking every crevices of an escape that she had. He was able to come in and try to, thwart that. Yeah. Right. But she did. She planned it. And if you haven't watched the movie, if you're somebody engaging in our conversation right now and you're like, what is that? watch the movie and you can actually, if you're at this point or you're curious to know what that really looks like, I think that movie probably is one of the.
That's one. And then there's one, and I don't know why it's not coming to me.
What Color Purple?
But no.
When Celie left?
No.
And she pointed?
No. That's a good one as well, but no. No. What is, oh man, she's in Pretty Woman.
Oh, yes. And yes. Oh my God, what's her name? Can you guys know? I know you're talking about.
It's gonna come to me, but yes, her.
You know her.
Her.
Yeah, that's the one.
And that movie.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Where she does the full planning, where she takes swimming lessons and all that.
Yes. I'm gonna watch that later.
Yeah.
I remember that. And he was very sly.
He was disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And she did this is when I'm talking about a woman that's already, she knows she's at the end, but
oh my God, now it's
months.
What am I thinking?
Maybe even a year over.
Oh shit.
Where what's her name? And she's very pretty.
Very pretty girl. I know who you're talking about. But yeah,
and she plans that escape, and she plans it well. Has everybody, her mother, everything planned out.
Okay.
That was a very good example of that as well.
That was a serious narcissist. I think he was a covert.
Well, I don't know.
Well, covert, they have covert, ververt.
Yeah, whatever.
No.
He was scary though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that guy was scary though, because you never knew what was coming. So it's a situation like that now where she strategically planned her escape. Because I think because she knew the type of person he was.
I'm literally going to go home and find that movie.
I literally want to go and watch it.
Because now it's going to bother me.
Because I've watched enough a few times already.
Yeah.
Why is her name stuck? It's like it's right there.
Julia Roberts.
Okay. Julia Roberts. Okay, so you remembered.
Yeah, Julia Roberts, but I can't remember the name of
the movie?
Yeah.
I think I do.
It'll come to me too.
Okay.
It'll come to me. Anyway, we digress. So what it looks like for a woman to walk away. So that planning stage.
But she didn't have kids.
She did not have kids.
Right.
But she was at the end. She knew she was at the end. She was in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
She was in a mentally abusive relationship, physically abusive relationship, emotionally abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And she steadfast. She stayed there. And then when she had enough and when she was at her end,
right,
she planned herself out. And another thing that it's crazy because he didn't know, and for whatever reason, men will say they don't know that you've reached the end, which I'm not sure why. Because women, if nothing else, we are very open because we're emotional. So
you can tell.
Speak.
Yeah.
We speak on it.
Yeah.
We do speak on it. We speak on what's bothering us.
Yes.
We talk up to the fact that, you know what, I don't know, let me give an example. You're not doing anything around here and I'm always the one coming in and I've got the kids to take care of and I've got to clean the place and I've got to whatever. And then you still want me to service you in the end. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And we speak on these things, but we're speaking on them and it's like white noise to men sometimes.
Right.
They don't hear it. And then when we do make that decision to walk away, then I didn't know, like what? And I'm not sure why.
And I think that's the whole thing about it too, is because when going back to when you say you're speaking, I think one of my learn from my relationship is the communication aspect of
women communicate,
right?
We do
communicate, but if we are intimidated or there's some fear within the relationship, we're not so easily forthcoming with our communication, and so therefore we hold back, right? Not taking away from what you said, right?
I'll give you that maybe we hold back when you're in that abusive relationship, but what I'm saying is there is some sort of sign in that woman not being happy, but a man is so wrapped up in himself.
Well, let's talk about the sign.
Because when somebody's not happy.
The sign is you not being sexually in clear,
right.
You can see.
So the signs are there. We don't hide because we're emotional beings.
It's easy.
We don't hide.
Yeah.
Whether it be from our mouth or whether it be from our body language.
Right.
We don't hide that we're not happy.
Right.
And so I'm just saying that men are so not men, because I don't want anybody to come after me, But
Most
a lot
men.
of men are so wrapped up within themselves
Yes.
that they're not looking for signs. And I can say this because as a woman, I'm not purposely looking for signs, but if my partner or even my kids, like I know when my son comes home and he's in a mood,
Right.
I see it.
Yeah.
So I will ask, what's wrong with you?
Right.
You understand? So we can see it if you care to see it. You are there. If you don't care and you want to just do you, then no, you'll never see signs. But what I'm saying is, I think whether it be through speaking on it or through our body language, whatever it may be, I think women do communicate that they're not happy or their feelings or what they're going
Something
through.
is not right.
Right.
Yeah.
We do.
I think we do.
I think we do.
I definitely agree with that. I guess what I was trying to say is we do communicate, but it's sometimes like that same movie we were talking about. I don't think Julia Roberts, get it right, Patty. Okay, I'm trying. I sorry, Julia. No, but I'm just saying that we do communicate, which we should. Sometimes we are timid to do so or fearful to do so.
Oh no, definitely, especially if you're in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
You are timid to speak on it.
Yeah.
But again, you are showing it.
Yeah.
You are showing it that if he raises his hand like this, you cower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever, you are showing something. So
yeah.
I think, again, women leading up to walking away, when they get to that breaking point,
right,
they have shown that they are not happy and something needs to give before they make that last, decision to say, cut and run.
That's it.
Yeah,
because when you're making, as a woman, I can going back to it, is when we're making that decision to say, I'm done. Like we literally are locked off.
Yeah.
Like we're literally done.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're dead to me type of done, especially based on the circumstance of the relationship, obviously. But when we're done for the most part.
And not necessarily dead to me, because I know when I walked away from my relationship.
But you can get.
I was done.
Yeah.
But I can say that me and him still have a really good relationship. I didn't have abuse necessarily in my relationship.
I really like that hair though.
Oh,
it's nice.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, am I off topic?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I just had to say it.
We don't have that much time.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
So,
But I think I like it. But go on.
All right. We'll talk about how we're getting. Well, this is not one of the topics, but we'll figure it out. So he cheated, more than once, and so yes, I reached my breaking point. But for whatever reason, our friendship, and that's where we started. Our relationship was such a tight friendship. He was my best friend. That even when I did decide we're done. And we went our separate ways. We still, until this day, we still maintain that friendship. So I never did completely cut him off.
But you still had to go through a phase.
Well, because I had my healing.
Yeah.
I had to heal. I had to go. So there was a point where I couldn't stand his face. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm somebody I can forgive. I don't forget. So there was never a turn back point in my head to say, okay, I'm gonna try to get him back or anything like that. No, we were done and we went our separate ways.
Right.
Now on the flip side, men, when a man decides that he's walking away, what does that look like? Well, I can tell you, they up and walk.
Well, yeah, they do.
They up and walk because, again, men don't speak.
Because men don't speak.
Women tend to be more, not to cut you, women tend to be more shocked.
Right.
That, where did this come from?
Where did this come from? What did you, why?
Right. And not to say that he wasn't happy with something you were doing.
Right.
So I'm not saying, men are, the worst or whatever, because they're, to put it back on a woman, we can tend as women to let ourselves go. When we get into these relationships, we tend as women, and not purposely, because we are nurturers by design, we are nurturers, but we tend as women to, especially when children come into the mix, we're very laser focused on whatever it is that we're doing. So if we've got children, if you are a mother that works out of the home, you keep your home at the same time. So you're cleaning, you're taking care of the kids, you are whether it be a 9 to 5 mom, whatever it may be, you are doing all these things, and sometimes we tend to forget our partner. One, because we tend to forget ourselves. So we're not trying to look sexy. We're not putting the all.
Well, I'll say this. I like what you're touching there, because going back to who we are and what we are as women, just overall, just nurturers, right? And then, so the partner, when you begin, you're nurturing that partner, you're stroking that moment, that person is your first and all.
Yep.
And like you're saying, when we go back now, we have kids, we have positioned ourselves in a place now that we're not only there for the partner, we're here for the kids. And for kids, it's their children, right? So we want to protect them. We want to make sure they're okay. We want to whatever. So a lot of that energy goes to a lot of time to the kids. Then, like you said, if it is that you are a working woman, you get up, you go to work, you have your children, you want to make sure they get to their daycare. You want to make sure that their lunch is packed. You want to make sure that they're dressed. You want to do all these things.
And especially when, yes, you're in a two-parent home.
Yes.
However, you're the one parent that doing all those things.
Yes.
Because he gets up
and he's gone.
Right. He's got to go to work, or he's got to whatever it is.
Yeah. And mind you, there are some men that are just highly involved. We don't want to make it seem like that's what it is. But again, we are speaking from
our own
experiences and also experiences of others that are close within our circle. And you tend to get up, you do all these things. You want to make sure, as women, we naturally want to make sure things are in place, right? And everybody's good, right? So then naturally when you have that, you go to work. Work is almost supposed to be your time away, but it's not, because you're working. And ultimately while you're still focusing on home, right?
What am I going to cook when I get home?
Right. So then now you're at that point. So now you come home, and you're attending to just what it is, home. And yes, you do forget about your partner. But why we forget about our partners, because we are more looking at the bigger picture of making sure everything is good. So for some men, they don't see it like that. Men would expect that you're going to come home, you're going to take care of whatever, but then now you got to service them. And so therefore, as a woman, as much as we're superwoman, we get drained.
So I'm going to say, I think men can be very
selfish.
Well, no, yes, but they've got tunnel vision,
right? So
men tend to look at it as, prior to the kids, you were all about me. You walked around the house and barely nothing. We had loads of fun. We had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was all about him. Kids come into the equation now, and now maybe one night out of the week, it's what can I say? Sex.
What this is grown ass woman have grown ass conversation. Right? So why not? And sometimes it's a quiet one. It's a tired sex.
Sometimes it's just, listen. Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't sound good, but it's true. Right. Because I'm quite certain some people can relate to that.
It isn't okay. Yeah, go ahead. So I'm just saying. So there are times when, because you're tired. You are tired. So you've been going, and you know within your head, because I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like right around the clock men think about sex. Like right around the clock. And as women, we're not made that way. So, but we do know that is something he requires. So somewhere in there you fit that in, and it's probably not what it used to be prior to the kids and all the responsibilities. So here it is your partner now not happy because you are not
attending to
their needs.
And then they get attention outside.
Right.
Because the sad thing about it is
they don't communicate it to you.
The sad thing about it is, in all that you are doing, you're not doing for yourself. You're doing for everybody.
Now, if I go back on what we were talking about where women were concerned, and I said, because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm contradicting myself. So I said earlier, women tend to pick up So we know when our partner or our kids or whatever is not happy. We're able to figure that out. So somebody would say, then
Why aren't you picking up
why
on that?
didn't you know
And pick up on
he
that.
wasn't happy and that it was a possibility that
Because a man will tell you they're happy and they're not. A man will tell you that, no, yeah, no, everything is good.
That, and I also think it's not that we're just point blank ignoring it. I think we as women, again, if you are in that relationship where a good majority of the responsibility is on you, you literally have blocked out his needs because you are busy looking at everything that you have. You don't even barely have time for yourself, as I said before. So you are not thinking about, oh, he's over there not happy. He went to bed and he was sulking or whatever it may be. Who got time for whether you were sulking because of whatever? I had to stay and do homework. Then I had to cook. Then I had to wash up. Then I had to put kids to bed. So here I am. When I'm done, all I want to do is just lie down somewhere and just leave me alone.
Let's call it for what it is. Sometimes when you're sitting there sulking and you're sulking, okay, go to bed. You it's almost like, not that you don't care, but you're looking forward for that person not to bother you.
Right.
Or okay, go to bed. Or you know what? Go to bed angry. At this point, I'm really thinking about myself. And going back to what you said, I can relate in my marriage. These are things that my husband used to say to me all the time. But the thing about it is, when you're so consumed with so many other things, and that could be just as simple as day to day as a woman, but when you're also been through things, your focus is elsewhere. Your focus is, it just can't. There's a point where you can't connect, and there's a point where you really just don't want to either. Let's just call it for what it is, and you tend to eventually start shutting out that person. And then that person, now it's almost like you force them to do the thing that they don't, I wouldn't say they don't want to do, but do that thing, right? And then it's crazy, because this is why we get shocked, because we're not seeing what we've done, or we may be intentionally doing what we're doing. I don't know. But my point is that the men now start to either slip out, or emotionally they start shutting down. But we're so consumed that we're not picking up on certain things, because we just think they're just comfortable.
They are not using their words.
No.
They are not saying, other than, or you're not giving none, or whatever it may be, their barbaric way of saying, they want, or, at, 3:00 in the morning when they're trying to slide. Right? Okay. When I'm trying to sleep. Okay. So
just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. It's okay. You don't have to wake up.
Right. You don't even need to move.
No, don't go in there. It's okay.
Other than that, they are not communicating, nor are they looking to do things to maybe help the situation. So when they reach now the end, so they're fed up, what does that look like? So they're up and they're out.
Yeah.
They're up.
I'll tell you, when we talk about up and out, I wanted to share this scenario, because it's simply just that. At the end of the day, men just get up and they go, and you get blindsided, and would I say that we should not take accountability for some of those actions? Most definitely. As a woman, I believe, yes, we can definitely be accountable for ignoring or not acknowledging.
Right.
And then sometimes when they are speaking, you just take it as a matter of fact, or it's just, okay, whatever. But what I wanted to share is, I had an acquaintance, we met years ago, and I remember speaking to her. I had a woman's workshop, and I remember she came in there, and this woman looked so angered. Like, I was like, my cousin and I were I was the one leading it, but my cousin and I were there together. And we both came to me like, oh, that is going to be our problem there because she looked so mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people always take me as a serious person, but I mean, I heard this one chunked me. And as we all started talking as women, she took that moment to really speak up, implode and share her thoughts and share what's going on with her. And this is a thing though, when people are like showing up angered or bothered, sometimes we really don't know what it is they're going through.
Yeah.
That's something I learned while I was working in the bank. To get to the point, she expressed her husband just got up and walked away. How did that happen? She said she was a regular day and she came home, regular. And she's seeing time going by and she's not seeing her husband come home. He's not picking up or anything like that. And naturally when that happens, you're automatically thinking, well, oh my God, maybe he's by his friend. Did he stop somewhere? Those are natural thoughts because I used to
something more serious
or something more serious. Because when my husband would sleep out the house. That's a whole different story. But the first thing that comes to mind is something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is like, oh my gosh, something is wrong. Let me turn on the TV and see if something, right? So I think she was going through this process of trying to not assume the worst. But the worst was one day went by, days went by, 3 days. I mean, as the time is stretching, there's no police report. Clearly, he's not coming home. So what he never came home. That was a man that walked away. She never learned why. She never understood why. What happened? What did I not do? What could I have done? Why didn't you express it? Why didn't we communicate? Why didn't whatever? It was a why. Because that's the only thing you have in your head is why. Why is this man for 20? And the thing is, they've been together for 30 years. And he just picked up and walked away, never turned back.
The thing that what's crazy about it too, though, when you're speaking, I'm thinking about even during the relationship, what that looked like. Because I'm just going back in my head, and I'm thinking, I know when in my relationship, it was for whatever reason, he was able to just up and go. So if he had plans with somebody or friends or whatever it may be, I might hear about it 15 minutes before he's going. Vice versa now. So women, myself, if I have plans to go and do something with you,
yeah, we're going to talk about it.
It's about a week prior
that we're going to talk about
that I've let you know, right? Because in my head, I need you to watch the kids, whatever it may be. So I plan, and I say, they don't plan. They take for granted that you're going to be there, and so they go. So again, when he walks away, if there's kids there, they take for granted, unless you're some kind of crazy, whacked out mother,
right?
Because there are the men that stick around because of their children as well. Right. Like I am definitely not taking away, but a good majority of the time, when it is that a man has reached his point of no return, he ups and he just leaves. And there is no warning. There is no anything. Some of them, what they do in order to be able to have it be done and hopefully it's you telling them to get out, is they cheat. They do things to make it come to that end, right? Some of them, that's how I don't know if they've plotted it out. I don't know how.
I don't think they plotted out. I think it's a sense of now I'm getting what I want. And are they really?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like, because you must know that, okay, if she finds out I'm cheating, she's going to leave me or she's going to walk away. I mean, that's what it should be. So you know this and yet you do it. And again, another topic and another time. But sometimes I wonder, do they do it for it to come out so that you are that one to say,
oh, you mean like if they purposely do it?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm sure there is. Yeah. I'm sure there's some that do. I mean, that's another topic, but you can see the signs for the most part. Yeah. And for the most part, sometimes you can't see the sign because they're that damn good, right?
They walked away from the relationship from they cheat, right? That's pretty much it. So that's their way of walking away from the relationship. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could go on and on and on and on about this.
But to sum it up, we have reflected on why a woman would walk away, which really and truly is based, when we do, it's pretty much calculated. Women are very responsible for the most part. So things have to make sense for them. As a woman will go through sufferation for a long time while they're planning, right? Because it has to make sense to them, unless the situation warrants them to run right away, right? But overall, a woman, we do tend to plan things out. And there's always one person that knows. There's someone that's the closest person to you is knowing, because why not? You have to kind of put it in place, just in case that does not work the way it is. Someone else is there that can say, okay, we'll try this or whatever. And that's pretty much how that is. But for a man, we know that men, they're patient. I'm not going to say that they're not. It'd be kind of crazy making if a man can just walk away just because something is not happening in the moment. But I think there's some patience there. No, I do. If
I don't think they're patient.
No, maybe not patient in some regards, but patient enough to try and see how often they have to keep reminding of the same thing. And I only speak of that because, again, I know some scenarios where it's like, they're waiting for you to probably recognize that they're in need of something, or you to recognize that they need you or want you, for you to see the signs and whatever that may look like. But the ultimate thing is that men legit, at the end of the day, when they're ready to go, they just go, right? And you're left now kind of to yourself wondering what happened or whatever the case may be. But
well, I would definitely say yes, they are probably patient in their planning, maybe, if we want to say patient.
But they don't plan.
I don't know. I
think when
I only say plan because, again, when you walk away, the one thing we talked about is the lack of communication on their end. They don't communicate.
Remember how men's mind are.
Right,
we are emotional. Men they don't tell a story like we do. They go from A to B.
Right. There are the ones that internalize, and when they reach to that point where that's it for them. We've discussed the fact that they may cheat. We discussed that they may just up and walk away. We discussed that maybe they tell one of your family members or a friend, and that person is to come and tell you. So they do handle it completely different from how we handle it. And I mean, I think the moral of the story and where I'm going with this is that, one, communication is key. Like, I think that's the biggest part that I want to hit home, is that communication is very, very key on both sides. The woman communicating what she needs from the man. Because I'm not sitting here only just talking about the fact of walking away. I'm talking about a relationship on a whole, that if you're not communicating, that's where the breaking down of the relationship happens. So if I haven't communicated that, guess what, guys? I'm tired. I need help. I'm this, I'm that. If the woman's not doing that, then it's left for him to just assume you've got it, right, and you're good. Right. And so you're not.
And some of us women want to be superwoman and try to do all of that,
right? And then if we are communicating, I would say that the man does need to communicate in order to let us know that we're either not doing enough, you need more, you need more attention from us, you need whatever it may be. But you can't just feel like it's okay to just up and leave this woman hanging in the balance, just trying to figure out, like, where did she go wrong? No closure, right? Because we always tend to want that closure as a woman. We want that closure. We need to understand.
Like, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
And not to switch to another topic, but we tend to blame ourselves.
Yeah. And that's another topic.
That is another topic.
That is the next topic on a whole, because there's so much wrapped around that as well. But the moral of it is that now we're at the point where so now the topic is strength of a woman, and again we're sneaking the men in there, but yes, we think before we walk away. Men, you often just do. But when you get to this point and you do walk away, then we have to do what? Start all over. So that is going to be our next episode, starting over from making that decision, that ultimate decision, that one big decision, that final decision, that painful decision. But at the same time, it could be the rightful decision. So, everyone, thank you for tuning in to Woman to Woman, our Woman to Woman channel. As I said, I'm Pat.
I'm Lisa.
And you know what? Thank you so much for joining. We will see you again on the next episode. Cheers. I touch that 5 for you. I do that 3 times again. I testify for you. I told I like you, that bitch. I do it all.